What's up, gamers, gamies, and gamettes? My name is John. Walk up, and welcome back to Winter's Empty Master Remastered Edition. Last time, basically, well, Yuki kinda got a new haircut and stuff, so let us continue the story. Oh yeah, before I do that, I actually wanna... The funny thing, well, I got a notification like earlier, like on when I first released the video of it. The artist of like the new CGI has responded to me. He's like, oh my god, I'm the artist. I created those characters. Like, you know, I did the art and stuff. I was like, oh really? He's like, all right, cool. So yeah, shout out to Naomy, Mikol. Like I checked out like her channel. Like everything's all Spanish and stuff. Like, you know, this like some Red Dead Redemption 2 live play, some her drawing, some other things, some fan dubbing in Spanish, some other things, some other games that I think she has made in other webcomics. Not sure, but I like her channel. It's pretty dope. Gracias, Naomy Mikol. So peace and love. So yeah. And others, like, you know, that checked out. Yeah, but check out her channel and like, you know, Eternal Nights as well too, and StuCun YouTube, man. Like, you done a good job. Let's see how far the story has gone. Ah, damn it. A shadow walks quietly along the street, completely alone and dressed in clothes that nobody else would use in this age. It isn't the clothes that are ugly or uncomfortable, it's actually quite the opposite. But they are very old-fashioned and inappropriate for the place. Those are, in fact, its work uniform, and its job is something very special. Not teaching, building, or cleaning, but killing. Due to uprising of violence in the city, most people stayed at home at night, making it easier to lurk into the darkness of Momochi, looking for a new victim. Anyone who is unfortunate to cross its path would be enough. It wasn't looking for someone in particular. To tell the truth, it didn't even want to kill that night, but it was instructed to do so. Really, the killer walks, fully aware of its surroundings, careful. There was nobody there was who could wait. Careful, there was nobody there who could see it. Okay, like an animal hunted. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Like, I think I said this from the first video, but this game is also in Spanish. You guys can go check it out. Like, you know, if you guys are Spanish speakers, and you can like play the game yourself, like in Spanish, or like I don't know if the Russian version has already came out. Not, I'm not sure, but yeah, just letting you know right now. It moves through the world of the grays, checking every house within view without choosing any in particular. But here's Sensei. Suddenly, the shadow stops it and found something that caught its attention. It stares at a house which had an open window on the second floor, but that meant little for the lurking shadow. It had made up its mind. This is the place. The person who lived there was unfortunate. It wouldn't be able to live enough to see the daylight. Oh, how pity. Among the many people in the city, one starts to think that chances of being attacked are small. And you may be right, but still, someone has to be unlucky and the unlucky one. And it could be anyone. Soon, the killer was already standing inside the house. He walked slowly, observing the room. Nothing worthy of notice here, but it looked like the victim was inside the house. He could feel the presence, his smell, his sounds. The victim was on the first floor, possibly working, writing, or signing something. Oh, this is different from the first one. Alright, definitely has a little bit more texture.
I hate qualifying exams. Damn work. I should just fail everyone. What a dick.
Teacher. Alright. The man speaks to himself, only expressing frustration. It was only a terribly familiar voice. He is absorbed to his work, reading and checking page after page of exams. In some ways, those tests were the life or death importance. How ironic. Or maybe it would be better to say, how fitting. The assassin moves stealthily and undetected. When it was just 6 steps away from its victim, it intentionally stomps loudly. Surprised and scared, the man instantly turned his head, discovering his unwanted guest. Alright, let's see new CG. Oh! Small stature, a creepy gas mask with red eyes, and covered by the old camouflage cape. Huh! Well, what do you know? You know, she kind of reminds. I don't know. I don't know. I like it, but for some reason it reminds me of some. I don't want to say Star Wars, like, you know, someone that wears a mask of Star Wars, or something of like a supervillain or something like that. I can't remember which villain or hero or fictional character that kind of reminds me of, like, Yuki resembles. I don't know. Whatever, but still, this is cool. This is a cool design, Nami. Alright. Imagine the surprise of the board teacher to see the person inside of the house late at night. He was more than terrified. He felt his life threatened.
Who the hell are you?
He asked the unknown burglar. At the same time, he took his pocket and self-defense weapons, a stun gun. It is easy to see the fear shining in his eyes. His hands are shaking. It was clear that he wasn't an expert fighter, much unlike the assassin. The assassin does nothing, just stare at him while heavy breathing, making him more nervous, but not even moving a muscle. Soon enough, the teacher can't stand his patience anymore and attacks. It's pathetic. The assassin skillfully grabbed his wrist and twisted in an inhumane force, breaking the bones, and forcing him to drop the stun gun. All while moving behind him, all done in a blink of an eye. The teacher can't even scream in pain because the assassin pressed his neck with his other arm, choking him almost to death, almost breaking his neck too. One can hear his noises, gasping desperately for air, but this is not the way he'll die. Suddenly, the assassin hits him in the stomach and then kicks him away from the stun gun. The man bends in pain on the floor. He's sobbing, crying. It only takes a moment to defeat him. Coldly, the assassin stands right next to him, looking down on him. Once again, he can hear the heavy breathing. The teacher stared at the black mask without saying a word. He was crying. What else could he do but that? He was afraid of what the assassin would do to him. Afraid of the pain and afraid of dying. For many long seconds, which felt almost endless, they just stared at each other. The black mask told him nothing. He couldn't see what look the assassin had on his face, and that scared him. Not knowing was scary. It made him imagine horrible things.
Why are you doing this? Take all my money. I swear not to call the police. Just don't kill me. I'll do anything.
He said while bowing to the assassin. He had lost all of his dignity. Living meant more for him than that. Pathetic. Oh, that's new. Needles. With a quick move, his hands, the assassin shoots 2 needles that nails the teacher's hands to the floor very painfully. Soon, the very warm liquid flows out from his body. Naturally, he screams very loudly, but no one would come to his aid. He was alone, just like the assassin was. Only the last was the stronger one. Oh, what? They should have, like, kept him on the floor or something.
Please. Why are you doing this? Spare me, please. I beg you.
Like, they could have, like, made a CG, like, you know, he's on the ground, like, you know, with the needles pinned on him. I don't know. He sat between the sobs as if someone was bullying a little kid.
I didn't do anything. You were the one who called this upon yourself.
Finally, the assassin says something in space that says something to him. Its voice sounds deep and distorted, nothing like its real voice. He shakes his head in denial.
How? How could I have called this upon myself?
He looks deep into the assassin with pleading eyes. Looks like he has given up on saving his life and now only cared for knowing the reason for his death. Because you left your window open. That's really the only reason. Was the cruel answer, said so coldly. It must have been turned to blood to ice. There is a brief silence.
No, that isn't right. That can't be true.
He cries at those words, unable to bear his pain. His soul was now hurting more than his wounded body, unable to accept the truth. He's staring at the assassin with a disgusting face covered in tears and snot, crying. No, his face was already disgusting before crying. That's because the assassin knew him. Do you really need a reason? The assassin asks, getting no answer, but his eyes tell it that he yearns for it. Very well then, how about this one? Hello? The assassin said. At the same time, it takes off his mask, revealing its identity. Oh, well, fucking berries. I wrong thing. Okay, not bad. Pretty cool. I can dig it. Red glass eyes, black hair, and an inexpressive face. He recognized her instantly. He is a loss of words. White transition. Oh my god, it's blurring my eyes. Alright.
Ikatsu!
He said, surprised with terror, now reflecting on his shaky eyes. Looks like it was the satisfactory answer, knowing he was gonna be killed because I hated him. Though I knew it was a lie, just a whim. I did because I had no reason not to. I mean, you could have just not do. Oh, that's new. Alright. Do you see my hair, Sensei? I said with a false grin in my face, yet it looked so natural. It used to be so long, and now it's short. Some girls cut it while I was punished in school, so I could call this loss your fault. After I waited so much for it to grow, after I took such good care of it, now it is gone, and it is all your fault. After saying that, I give him a piercing stare filled with playful malice, spaced out with the joy of punishing the one who caused me pain. But again, that was a lie. In reality, there was just an act for him because he needed it and it didn't cost me nothing. He looks back at my face, astonished. Small drops of sweat appear on his forehead. He is at a loss for words and he can barely even breathe. A few seconds later, he silently lowers his face, looking at the floor, accepting the reality before him, his hand. He is still shaking, but there is no much else left to say. Excuse me. Then I took 4 needles into my right hand and very long, with the point painted in red. You have been so bad to me, Sensei. So, now it's time to pay. Sayonara. My teacher, Shizaka Sensei, closes his eyes for the last time. Oh, well, that's new dialogue, I think. Ooh. In the blink of an eye, I shoot the 4 needles and killed him. It was very fast and precise attack. Excuse me. It was painful, but just for an instant. The jugular vein, his heart, both lungs, those 4 places were pierced by the long needles which were buried deep inside of his body. Soon I stared at his lifeless body, onto the puddle of red blood. He is dead. All of me knows there is no way he could ever survive that. It would be human to do so. It was useless to do so, but those were my orders. I will have to check if he was dead, just like I did with my other victims. I extended my right hand and pointed at him with my palm. Soon, the blood flows back to his body, almost as if it is reversing time, but it was by no means of a healing power. His body slightly wiggles from the super high blood pressure. And then he explodes, ejecting blood from all of his holes with so much force that it stains my clothes and in the walls nearby. He was now completely destroyed inside, crushed and torn. The vital fluid that had crushed all the bones and organs, leaving only a meat jelly. Mysteriously, the drop of blood fall from my cloth and clothes a little later, as if they were made of the impermeable plastic instead of cloth, leaving them completely clean in seconds. Making all that happen was really easy with my powers. I couldn't say I was going to miss my teacher, but there was a part of me that felt relief, because from now on my days in school wouldn't be so uncomfortable. Now I look at one of the stained walls and think about doing something unnecessary. This is the colorless world made only of grays, but perhaps sometimes it appears one more color. Oh, the red thing, alright. A color that follows me and knows me very intimately. A color that blooms in the injuries and deaths. Red. The color which means my way of life and power. And I then move my hands as if directing and orchestrated a bloody musicians and artists, obeying the drops of blood moves, some even floating in the air, writing a message. I love this color, red. Why transition? Are we gonna face the demon thing? Alright, that's new. In the midst of the complete darkness, a bright object falls from the heaven, alone in silence. Oh, the mask! Oh yeah, that's right. Oh. It is a white ceramic mask with a big smile, the one from the classic theater depicting comedy. The mask is only visible as if its own light in an empty world. As it falls, it turns around. One faces it's visible again, and it can seem the expression has changed, and now it is sad face. The mask finally touches the ground, breaking into 1,000 pieces, but magically the pieces stay floating in the air, each one of them in its own place and floating and turning slowly. All the years I searched for my own mask, in every corner, at every hour, in every person, without results. But although I have not been able to find that I learned about them. The pieces of the mask mysteriously begin to change color, shape, and size. Now they did not seem to belong to the same object at all, but come each from different places. Everyone has a different mask, the face that we show society, the one we show to our friends, to our family, and even to ourselves. Our personalities are different, but our masks are made with the same parts. Oh. When she finishes speaking, the pieces that are emerging to a new form completely different from the original mask. Space. A red mask with the face of a demon. A few seconds later, the new mask dissipates in the form of grains and sands and slowly floating away, only to later come back again. The process of the fusion and separation is repeated at least 3 more times, forming different masks, each with different emotions. Oh my god. Oh well, that's something. Hate, love, pain, jealousy, indifference, sadness, hope, despair. If you learn to understand the pieces and put them into an adequate quantity, and you can then become any mask. You can understand them and predict them, deceive them even. Oh, that is a new one. Hold up. This looks pretty good. I like it. Naomy, your art. Linda. Beautiful. It's actually dope. I like it. I really do. I liked it. This is thumbnail right here. Alright. A girl appears in the imaginary world. Yuki Akitsu, wearing a traditional kimono with long black hair and red eyes. She takes the mask with both hands. Now has faced the maiden, stained with blood. A maiden stained with blood. What the? I don't know who's talking, but okay. It's only a matter of observing and understanding what things mean for the new mask. What kind of personality it has. What should it love or hate? Yuki speaks. Oh, okay. With a small smile while she slowly moves the mask closer to her face. If you do it correctly, you can become anyone you want. I guess that's the advantage of not having any. She said while putting the bloody mask on her face. White transition. I can hear many agitated breathing through the gas mask. My lungs burn. But if I ever stop breathing, it is because I am dead. I'm wearing my work uniform to kill while I struggle with some kind of humanoid monster 2.5 meters high. With hard albino skin and a huge black claw on the hands and legs are about 50 centimeters in length. It has no face with the exception of the mouth, a huge mouth that reaches from both sides of his face. Full of razor-sharp teeth like a shark, and from the emanates poisonous gas like smoke from a motor. Excuse me. I am wounded. My left shoulder is bleeding after receiving a blow from the beast. I can barely standing. My legs tremble, just able to hold my own weight. Suddenly, I start coughing. My body weakens, forcing me to fall on my knees. On the ground, I continue coughing until from my mask falls two drop blood and then painted on the floor. The color red. I told you. And I think I'm gonna leave it up for right here for right now, guys. We're gonna find out till next time if we're gonna fight this or this is like a new type of thing. Well, the base kind of looks pretty cool with the new art. But yeah, so we're gonna find out till next time, like I said. So thank you guys for tuning in this episode of which is Empty Mask Remaster Edition. Also, don't forget to check out like Naomi's channel, the artist, which is like the creator of the CG, and like check out the Eternal Night Studios channel as well too, and also help them on their Patreon. Like get this game fully developed. This is a demo, just letting you guys know it's not done, but it has developed more. In a little bit, we get more story later on until we reach the end of that, until we get the full game. So yeah, support that. And yeah, so without further ado, I hope you guys have a good night, good evening, good wonderful, wherever from. So peace out and sayonara. Bye bye.